We are now at Virtual Tour Stop 8, the south end of the American Third Line. And where we are standing is actually where 2nd Maryland would have been standing. And their unit would have been kind of in a V shape at this point. We are sitting in the crook of that V. Now, the right wing of the unit is actually lined up this way, facing down slope. And remember, back in 1781, this would have been all open, cleared farm fields. You would have been able to see probably about 200 yards away. Now, the left side of their line is actually headed back this way, facing to the south. And they're essentially holding the flank, and they have to cover all these open farm fields for any potential threats that are going to come through here. Now, the guns that I'm standing at, these guns represent Anthony Singleton's guns. These are the guns that would have been at the first line when the battle began. Now, remember, way back when I said that the battle starts with an artillery duel, they're out there, they fire, they see the British infantry coming, and they eventually move all the way back to this position right here. So let's talk about the two Maryland units that would have been up here. These Continental units are superior to others, and 1st Maryland would have been probably the most elite unit on the battlefield. Now, what makes the Continental so good is that they're professional soldiers in the sense that they get standardized equipment, they get uniforms, they have standardized training, and over their many years of service, they're going to have lots of combat experience. What makes 1st Maryland above and beyond everybody is the fact that they're actually the amalgamation of several battalions, that over the courses of the war, they have slowly lost men to disease, desertion, not wanting to re-enlist, losing combat casualties. And so they get smaller and smaller and smaller until each of those battalions are probably company size. They can't really operate independently anymore. And then after the disaster at Camden, they lose a ton of men in terms of casualties and captured, so that they really can't operate, and they have to be brought together into one unit, reconsolidated as 1st Maryland. So these are hardcore veterans of the American Revolution. Where we're standing, 2nd Maryland, while being a Continental unit, is not as good. They are a fairly brand new unit, and they've never been in a battle before. Now, another little quirk that's going to make 2nd Maryland not perform as well as 1st Maryland is the fact that when they arrived with Greene's army, they're going to lose all their officers. That's because that amalgamated, consolidated 1st Maryland has too many officers. So when this brand new unit arrives, the officers of that unit start making an argument that they deserve those command positions. They've been in combat, they've been in service longer, so they have seniority. And General Greene sides with those officers of 1st Maryland. They are put in on 2nd Maryland, 2nd Maryland officers are sent home, and just like that, you have a Continental unit, but it's never been in a major battle before, and now it's about to go into its first battle with brand new officers. And so that's the situation we're in here at the south end of the line. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock on the day of battle. 33rd Regiment of Foot and that attack on the north side of the line has already been repulsed. But now the next unit's going to appear through the woods is going to be the 2nd Battalion of Guards. Now, at a previous stop, we said they had been plugged into the center of the British line to fill that gap as the two wings of the British Army came apart. Now they're going to be coming up the New Garden Road. They're going to come attack right through this position. As they appear, 2nd Maryland's now in a terrible position because half of their men aren't facing the right direction. So what they're going to have to do is that while this portion of the line is already facing the oncoming threat, this portion of the line now has to swing down so that they can bring all their guns to bear on the opponent that just appeared before them. You have a brand new unit trying to maneuver under fire. They get their men slightly into line, fire one weak volley, the British charge, and just like that, 2nd Maryland breaks. It's a shock to everybody here. They go scattering through the woods, through the courthouse complex that would have been just behind us, and up there is where General Greene is at. Greene and his staff try and rally 2nd Maryland as they flee past them and actually come dangerously close to 2nd Battalion of Guards as they swing up through that courthouse complex. Just like that, Greene is now afraid that his army is about to be routed. And when he came down to the south to take command, one of the imperatives Washington gave him was that you have to preserve your Continentals. Your Continentals are always going to be the nucleus that you can build your army around. If you lose them, you lose everything. So now Greene's going to go ahead and initiate his plan to start getting his army off the battlefield up the Reedy Fork Road, which would have been just behind your position. But that doesn't mean that the battle is lost. At our next tour stop, we're going to talk about how the actions of 1st Maryland are going to nearly save the day for Greene's army.